What's up, y'all? Happy Friday and welcome to Daytime Talk After Dark. I'm your host, Al Jackson. I'm joined by my girl, Sam Shocker. How you feeling?
I feel good, and I love you as the moderator. We've all decided, I think Al's the new moderator.
For sure.
Yay!
All right.
You look good,
Yay.
Al. He's good.
Tori, you are on the digital side. Tori Shulman helping us out. What's going on?
I'm just looking up for the future some roles a certain actor has that we're going to be discussing of our favorite.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Little tease.
All right.
You just say the
It's
actor.
Denzel Washington.
Okay. She wanted to say it so bad. You just helped her out.
It rhymes with Denzel Washington.
Okay. Jeff, how you feeling, man?
Good.
All right, man. Let's get into it. It's Jeff. I don't have to ask if you're going to be watching this, but Friday night, which is right now.
Great way of telling that.
Are you excited about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? It's on Netflix, which is crazy.
If you're any age around us, I know we're all kind of in the same generation. You love that Mike Tyson's coming back.
Yep.
You love it. I mean, I grew up watching pay-per-view Mike Tyson fights, and I do want to tell everybody out there, if you have a Netflix account, this fight is free.
Yeah, it is.
And I think maybe that's payback for Mike Tyson for all the money I spent on him over the years. And it was over in 8 seconds, you know what I mean? But that one, I was, just a kid. And watching Mike Tyson fights were just a memory of my childhood. And now that he's back at 56, I think it is.
What is he, 56, 58?
56, and he's 20-something?
Mm-hmm. Double the age
It's crazy.
almost.
Listen,
Is
I don't
Jake
want to see
Paul
anybody get
legitimate?
hurt. I don't think Mike's going to get hurt. I'm pulling for Mike, obviously, and I think the older generation, our generation, is pulling for Mike. I wonder how the younger kids feel if they're pulling for Jake Paul.
Is Jake Paul like a legit, like he's going
He's
against
legit.
Mike
He is
He's legit.
Tyson? Is he
legitimate.
going to die?
No,
He's legit.
No. Yeah.
He fought Nate Diaz. He fought a lot of ex-UFC
Okay.
guys. He fought a legit guy in Tyson Fury's son. He
Oh,
fought,
yes.
So he
He's-
trains and like
oh
knows.
my-
He's legit.
Okay.
So if
'Cause
you
I'm
want to
like-
learn more about it before you watch Tyson and Paul tonight, if you want to learn more about it, also on Netflix, a 3-part docuseries about how this is all coming about. You see Jake Paul's side. First of all, Jake Paul personally called Mike Tyson and was like, I want us to do this together. And Mike Tyson was stoked. He couldn't wait to do it and fight Jake Paul. Then you start to see how Jake Paul prepares, how Mike Tyson's preparing.
wow.
Both of them are giving it their all.
Really?
And Jake Paul trains year round. He wants to be a world champion.
Oh.
Go back even further, and there's a documentary
I
just
saw
on
that
Jake
too.
Paul, and you'll totally
Yep.
change your mind about how
Yep.
he leaned into being the villain, how
Yep.
he accepted that role, how he puts in work. He
works
moved to,
hard.
did he move
Was
to
he like
Colorado Springs.
No. He moved to Puerto Rico.
Right. Well, that
or
was
something.
during the Tyson fight, but he also has been
No,
training.
before that, for tax reasons and training reasons.
Right.
Who is
And
Jake Paul?
he-
He's an
I
internet
was going to
troll?
say, can somebody tell
Yes.
our
Is
audience
he an
who
internet-
They're
Jake?
So he's-
YouTube
like-
guys,
like-
like his
he's-
brother.
Yes, him and his brother, and this is just fresh in my mind because I just watched the 3-part
Go for it.
docuseries. But him and his brother started on Twitch and on Vine. And on Vine, it was just complete accident. So they got all these followers on Vine from doing these goofy teenage things. They were teenagers.
Vine was the social media.
Yep,
site.
Vine was a short-lived.
Was that the 9-second thing?
Yeah,
or
you
Yes.
have to be
something?
quick.
Yep.
Remember
And-
Dick's Sporting
Dude,
Goods?
that's my favorite.
know.
That's my
What?
favorite.
They go into Staples.
That's
Oh,
my favorite.
What's
Vine
Dick's
app.
Sporting
They
Good?
No,
You do it.
that's my favorite because I
Okay,
told
tell
it. So
me.
Vine was only like a 9-second video.
Yep.
You had like
Right.
9 seconds to do it. So these kids are outside Staple, or they're inside Staples, and they go. It's
so
just
dumb,
genius.
you're
I'm
like-
not making fun of everybody. This is just genius. So they're inside Staples. They go, Staples sell Staples? And that's like 4 seconds. And then they show them outside Dick's, and they go, come on!
It's like, how short can you be? It's so good.
Like like that joke was just
So
captured in
funny.
9 seconds. It was so
Perfect.
great.
It is. It's perfect.
in a
jokes.
weird way, because Vine is now defunct and it was 9 seconds. If you look at your your numbers on TikTok, your average view time is 7 to 11
Yeah,
seconds.
wow.
So
Exactly.
it's weird that it's kind
That
of
Vine
almost
went away.
Right.
It went
Yeah.
away, but it really reinvented itself, or that model was kind of taken.
It's interesting.
Yeah, no one watches any TikTok for like 20 seconds. It would be crazy.
Right.
It would
but
be
to
crazy.
Jeff's point, though, so then they got all those millions of followers by accident on TikTok, and they segued that into YouTube, and they became huge YouTube
And
successes.
what did they do on YouTube? Like,
So
what did
they were
do?
very like douchey, like
Pranky?
pranky type
Okay.
guys. Now, again, they were teenagers. Now Jake Paul is with an incredible speed skater. She's an Olympic champion. And they go to Colorado Springs and they train together. And he takes his boxing so seriously, and he is so devoted, so dedicated, doesn't drink, eats the right foods. He and his girlfriend is a great influence on him, being a 5-time world champion speed skater.
Dang.
And I don't know him personally on his ideologies, but as far as an athlete goes, he is legitimate. He works his ass off, and it's going to be a really good fight. Now, Tyson, what's setting him back clearly is his age. 'Cause we all know what an incredible fighter Tyson is, but he's got his same team with him and even some other people. Also, because Jake Paul is such a gazillionaire, he has the best trainers, not taking away his talent and his work ethic, but he has the best trainers as well.
I like when they do videos of like when they were YouTube stars and they're like throwing mattresses out the window and just being
It's like Jackass or something.
just being goofy, nerdy kids, and they show Tyson murdering somebody, and they're like, "These two guys are fighting." They're like at that exact
That's
time.
a good get. That's a good
At
ad.
some point, your future kind of intersects
That's a good ad.
with people. And I was listening to, this is years and years ago, I forgot what interview I was listening to, but this person was saying, if you are in entertainment, and like let's say 10-year-old Jeff had a poster of some attractive actress, and you're just like, man, that would be my dream.
Jordan,
That would be
handsome
my
man.
dream girl. But like, if you weren't married and you're the age you are now, that actress would be probably coming down from her career. And you would, at some point,
That's interesting.
intersect with the people that you loved. And for anybody that is not our age, in their 40s or even maybe even late 30s, Mike Tyson fights, first of all, were expensive.
Oh my gosh,
so
yeah.
people would either pool their money, and the one person that did have cable would buy the fight,
Right.
and people would have
Do you remember your
spots.
parents there?
How
That's
much would
that's
it
what I
be?
remember.
Some parent would buy it because we were
Yep.
so young,
Yep.
and then all the kids would come over.
It was
and
the
stuff.
best.
How much would it
It's like
be?
a sleepover.
$89, something
I
like
don't
that.
know the
Even back
price.
then, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe,
And
maybe
also-
30, $49.
I mean,
And
our
no-
parents would buy it, but to Jeff's point and your
Everyone would
point,
come.
like my parents, every Tyson fight, Holyfield, whoever
never
it may
seen
be,
one.
it was so much fun because the kids are all in one room, and then when he's about to fight, you all go in there, you watch, and do you remember when he bit Holyfield's ear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's just, I know that's my point. Like, it really is a pop when it comes to Jordan, when it comes to Tyson. Like, there's only a few people, at least in our, age group, that really carved out. And then we all played Tyson's Punch Out on Nintendo.
Well, it
I
was-
don't know what that is, but I do want to say I
Oh.
think we had a black tie. I want to find out what that is. We had a black tie Holyfield Tyson catered.
Oh, that's
event.
what it was.
That's really cool.
Hers
Yes.
was black tie and
I
catered.
remember the
Yeah.
year now.
I mean,
what's the thing? That's a video game where you just
Mike
Oh,
Tyson's
yeah.
punch.
Oh,
Out.
it's
don't
the
know
best.
Don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Zero. I never heard of it.
Nintendo?
What a stunted growth.
Yeah,
Dude, you missed out.
I don't know at all what
well,
you're saying.
that was Sam. You hit it right on the head. There was no way to see this again. Really, maybe a replay because they couldn't even show anything but the stills on the news because they didn't own that footage. So you had to be there.
Yeah.
And that's why there was such a buzz in your uncle's living room, and
Yep.
how even everybody, your biggest talker in your family, everybody shut up because the fight was on and you couldn't see it again.
Is he better
And
than Muhammad Ali? Who's better? Who would win?
I wouldn't
They're
know
different.
that.
They're different.
They're different.
One's
and
a
they
different
defensive
generations.
boxer.
One's
Right.
this.
Right.
But-
One's-
they would
Tyson's
probably know more
aggressive.
about style than
Right.
I
No, that's
would, but-
interesting.
But they both very much, I feel like, represented a generation and how they felt. I think Mike Tyson fought angry. Mike Tyson is from the dirt.
Yeah.
And he came up and
Catskills, New York.
yeah.
I remember that from the intro.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
yeah. And-
when they said like cat scoop like
Yeah.
that?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he
never
walkout.
knew this.
So I
Really?
can't wait to see if you. I mean, I know he's gonna be wearing the black trunks with the black shoes and come in. With,
that what he
He
does?
just comes in with a towel, cuts
He's-
a hole
yep.
in the towel.
Oh, kind of humble like
so
that.
people
Yeah.
like were flashing stuff, and he was
he's
19 when he won his first.
Here's what I'm
title, and
concerned
just-
about.
I mean, it was a different.
Hold on, Sam's about to voice her concerns.
No,
So-
here's what
That's
I'm
so-
concerned about, because if you watch the docu-series, so Jake Paul's been, to Jeff's point, Puerto Rico, Colorado Springs, training his butt off. Tyson had to take time off because he had some sort of
right.
someone can look it up. I
some
don't know
kind
if it was.
of gut issue.
Yeah.
Something.
And
He had
he had to
surgery?
he had to go to the hospital for a while.
Right.
So a large
let's
chunk
see.
of his training time went where Jake Paul's still doing his thing. So I just, I
It took me to his ab
If-
workout.
Right.
I don't know if a 28-year-old Tyson and a 28-year-old Jake Paul
Oh.
would be, yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be a
Remember,
fight, but
remember when Tyson fought Peter McNeely? There
Right.
was this white guy, kind of tubby a little bit, whatever. He was a pro
No.
boxer. He got knocked out in, I don't know, a minute or whatever.
What was
and then
the
he
guy
did
that-
and then he did a Pizza Hut commercial, and the Pizza Hut slice knocked him out.
Right. I mean,
What?
That's where we
I
are.
still remember that. It was
So
Peter
sad.
Remember
McNeil.
that
that's
at
how
all. I
famous he
remember
was. He could knock you out, and then you're famous.
Then you're famous too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I remember Tyson getting beat by
Buster Douglas.
by Douglas.
Right.
Remember, because
And-
we thought he was indestructible,
Yes.
invincible, and then yes, Buster Douglas.
James Buster Douglas.
Yep. I
don't know
And
who that
again, we
is.
talk about Tori. This is why I say that.
Well, they had a black tie catered Tyson
There was
fight.
good shrimp. I remember the shrimp.
That's the next level. You got to get the good shrimp. But Tori, I think you would really love this story because we talk a lot about narratives. And you're like, oh, two guys had a boxing match where they
No,
hit
you
each
need
other
a
in the
narrative
head.
story. Yeah.
That fight was fascinating because when they did the retrospective on it, Mike Tyson, the fight was in Japan. Mike Tyson went over there a month or a couple weeks before, wasn't training because he never lost. He was going to kill this tomato can they put in front of him. And so Mike Tyson, he said he was over there having a lot of sex. He was drinking and not worried about this guy at all.
wow.
And on the other hand, Buster Douglas had this up and down career. He was a guy that would be out of shape a lot. But before the Tyson fight,
He got in shape.
His mom passed away, and before she did, she was like, you can beat him.
Oh,
And
I didn't
so
know that backstory.
Mike
This narrative is
Tyson
fascinating.
didn't know that he was running into
Oh, a Mack
a
truck.
guy that was ready to die in the ring. And I remember watching that fight
Dying
as
for
a
something to
kid.
live for.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
just like there's
That's
a
right.
point where
Wow. If you didn't know, because this is an audio podcast, Jeff just gave Sam the thumbs up.
yeah, that,
It's an audio podcast?
Yeah.
No,
Aren't-
it's
aren't
not.
It's-
podcast
but
audio?
most people listen. Most people. It's not a visual medium.
Well, people that visually saw him give me a
that's
thumbs up.
true.
well,
Sorry.
no,
I had to.
yeah, but I just
Somebody
That's
was- somebody
that's a
was
very
thumbing through
interesting
Instagram.
backstory for motivation.
is.
Yeah.
I will say this, and for anybody that's not a sports fan, doesn't care about the numbers, wins, losses, I think there's a series, 30 for 30 on ESPN, and there's probably 40 or 50 episodes now of just backstories of really interesting things in which sports aligns with.
Yeah, like
but
the
it's
Duke
really
lacrosse.
the human stories that go behind it that are just, there's one about Pablo Escobar and his soccer
Isn't the
matches.
the Duke lacrosse
The
team? That
Duke
one is
lacrosse
super famous.
the one about Ricky Williams and
They're
like
all
how-
great.
Yeah, they're really
just
good.
they're really like some
That's
I've watched.
where
I've-
people are pouring money into right now, to that point.
what's that?
What is it?
So when I asked the individual, because CAA and all the agencies are making all these cuts, I said, well, what do you think is happening? And we heard this with Tegna too. And he was like, I'll tell you exactly what's happening. Everybody's making cuts because it's really easy they call it the Netflix effect, where you have all these streaming companies like Amazon and now Netflix, where they are pouring everything into these sports. So they'll build up, their whatever. If it's the NBA, they'll do, what did I talk about a couple weeks ago? The Final Five or the
Final
The
Four.
Fab Five?
not the Fab Five. The shout out to
Sorry, I was
Cramo.
way off.
No, the Final Five. I told you guys to all
can't
watch
just
it.
say
Football
it like
team?
that.
No, the basketball team.
The documentary.
The documentary about the top 5 basketball players right now, from LeBron James.
Starting
to-
five.
Okay, starting 5.
Yes.
Sorry, but
Well,
then
that's
they'll
not
go.
the name of it.
But then they'll go ahead and they'll pluck each individual story, and so their budgets are all sports right
You
now.
mean on all 5 of them?
Yeah.
No, but that's not it.
Jeff,
Then
the
you
Final
have,
Five. Get it right.
Then you have other human interest stories on other athletes, whether it's
I have a thought about
Olympians
this,
or
Sam. Do
What?
you know what it is?
No.
Because I've been noticing it ever since, you know how like those houses shows started getting popular
Yes.
with Chip and Joanna? And then there's like a couple that's Chip and Joanna-esque. but
I
it's
love
like,
them. They're in
it's like
Louisiana.
a Jason
Hometown.
Kelsey looking guy and like a smaller
hometown.
woman.
Yes, it's called Hometown.
Eh,
I said it 3
I'm
times.
sorry. It's also the name of a famous buffet chain. So we have different meanings of hometown. What I'm saying is,
Hometown buffet. I used to
shout
love
out.
that.
Do you know a hometown buffet?
Oh, better than Sizzler.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hands
it was
down.
Sizzler.
I've never
Oh.
been to a
No,
Sizzler.
They don't have
hometown.
shrimp cocktail there.
One of my siblings worked at Hometown Buffet for like a brief stint, and we would go and visit. I don't even remember if it was Erica, Nick, or Monica, but we would go and visit them, and I would just be so excited.
I would be so
Hometown
excited.
Buffet.
But what I was saying before I derailed myself with Hometown Buffet was I think that they're realizing that couples watch television now. It used to be, Jeff, you go in your man cave. Jordan, you go upstairs and watch your reality shows. But now they're like, oh, you and Jordan should watch.
That's a good point.
What is it? Overboard? What's the one with the staff on the boat?
Nobody knows any of the names that they're
Below
trying to
Deck.
say.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Goldie Hawn. You know, but
That's
like
a great movie.
But all
Overboard.
these shows I think are
love
catering
Overboard.
to the emotional side of sports as well. And that's not me being misogynistic. Like you ladies in
No, I
your
agree. There
emotion.
has to be a story.
Men are very emotional. The only time you see men really cry on TV is over sports. Men hit each other on the rear end during sports. Men, if
we
you, and
clip
if you
that?
watch like the sports shows in the mornings, they're not giving you how many rebounds somebody had. It's like, is Bill Belichick trying to get revenge on Tom Brady? Is so-and-so mad at somebody else? It's just drama. Sometimes it's a housewife. Sometimes it's a wide receiver. But human beings, since the beginning of time, gathering around fire, they need some drama. And so I think they're trying to get you and your husband to watch the same
And
thing.
I am.
And I think they're
And I
incorporating
am.
it.
Yeah.
I'm totally into all these human interest stories.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, it's great. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Tori, you have an interesting story.
I do. I just
Bittersweet for me.
Yeah, and for everyone, I think.
Yes.
For everyone.
There's an actor that has said
here.
he will do Gladiator 2, and then Wakanda 3, and then retire. And ladies and gentlemen, that is one, Denzel Washington. So we are going to, first of all, shout out to Denzel. Great
Yeah.
career. But we're going to go around the horn. I know you hate this. Any kind of happiness or joy.
No, forced
Oh,
clap.
God.
Denzel's the best actor on the planet. We got it.
Oh, my God. That's
We don't
Clap
need a
if you
forced
feel that
clap.
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
hashtag Daniel Day-Lewis. But let's talk about your favorite.
He's in the top. He's in the starting 5.
He's in the starting 5.
Yeah.
I want to go over your favorite Denzel roles.
I'm over here thinking.
Okay, so I want to
Alright.
list some so people know.
I'm
Training Day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
dang,
it's
The
that's-
best.
I know.
How can you?
Let's
God,
take
this
Training Day off the
conversation
table.
I know.
started and
Okay,
ended.
Training Day's off the table.
Okay, hold on. There's
Man on Fire.
Ooh, great one.
What about Pelican Brief?
Yes.
Philadelphia. Crimson Tide.
What's the one with Angelina Jolie?
I don't know that. Devil in a Blue Dress. No, that's
No.
not. The Preacher's Wife. I'm just giving you the best ones. The
I'll-
Hurricane, Training Day, John Q.
John Q.
John
That was good.
Q.
Inside Man.
Can I tell you?
Hurricane
my-
was great
That
too.
was
I don't
too.
remember her.
He was the
was
boxer.
the
Yeah,
story
it was about
of a
a
hurricane.
yeah, it was
I don't
about a
think I've
really good
seen it.
boxer that was
Yeah.
put into jail
Wrongly accused.
wrongly accused.
Yeah.
Correct. The Magnificent Seven.
Before you get to it, I'm going to say Flight.
Oh, Flight's fantastic.
Oh my God, I
I
forgot
think-
about Flight.
His testimony
Oh,
in
remember that
Flight
scene.
and what he said, it really related to me when I stopped drinking, because all he had to do, no spoilers, but it's kind of, but whatever. All they had to do was just say he had no knowledge of the flight simulator and he could have gotten off any charges he was facing. And he told the truth, and his lawyer's like, "What the F? What are you doing? All you do?" And he said, "I didn't have one lie left in me."
yeah.
And I really
Wow.
resonated with that, bro. Because there's a point when you're like, I can't, not one more time am I going to, get in an argument about why I spent $200 at the. I just couldn't anymore.
one
Like
more
when
lie.
it was the encapsulation of a human being that could no longer carry on with a certain lifestyle.
Wow.
And was willing to go to jail to not have to do it. And it's a place that not a lot of people get to. Some people can just kind of slide through life and like, oh yeah, grease in some pockets here, it's okay. But there's a point where like you're just like, I'm disgusted by myself,
Wow.
and whatever we have to do to put an end to the chapter, we'll do. So that one was for me. What about you? Not
Beautifully said.
including Training Day. Also John Q to me. And
John
that-
Q.
John Q
Yeah.
is good. Is that the one he doesn't have insurance?
Bone
Yes.
Collectors.
No, he does have insurance,
Yes.
and they didn't take it.
Bone
Bastards.
Collector's the one with Angelina
that's a good
Jolie.
one.
I thought that was a fantastic. Remember the Titans?
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah, that's good.
Malcolm X, Antoine Fisher. I mean, the
X, I
list goes
forgot
on.
all
and
about.
on.
Think about these movies we
Equalizer 2?
forgot.
I know.
I forgot he was
Wow.
in Malcolm X.
I know he was Malcolm X.
He is.
But he's so captivating as an actor. So every movie you said they're all good. But he's so captivating as a actor. He just did Othello.
He did Macbeth before,
Or
too.
Macbeth, was it Macbeth or
He did
Othello?
Macbeth and then he
just
did
one.
Othello, yeah.
But it's like And he's so captivating as a human being.
Yeah.
Like when he speaks, it's so profound. And then he's gone. And you don't hear anything else. Then he pops up on your screen. Like I said a million times, Gladiator's my favorite movie. I'm so glad he's part of part 2. But I do have to say, I don't think he's done at Wakanda. There's
I
no
kind of
way.
hope he's
Don't.
not.
There's no way.
Right. It's
I
what he
don't
loves
know.
to do.
I don't know.
I think
kinda
it
know,
all
you know,
depends on
he's-
how you feel.
And he has
If-
like 5 kids. Like, who knows if he has grandkids now?
Right,
So
and he has to
it's-
keep up.
I think
could be
they're
a
fine.
I remember-
no, but it might be a second chapter for him.
That's true.
Do you know?
That's
Like,
true.
he's definitely not one to be in the limelight. He's
But
not on
his
social media.
Isn't that his son on Ballers?
Is
No,
that
his son is a great actor, and
Yeah,
he's in
he was in-
Tenant with Dave.
He started on Ballers though with The Rock. I
He doesn't
think.
use his last name, does he?
No, and I was like, and I pretty sure. Don't quote. Maybe you could look it up.
Denzel's
But I was like,
son.
wait, that's Denzel's son.
I
John
didn't know
David
that-
Washington,
I
he does
didn't know
use it,
that
yeah.
was his son.
Yeah,
He's in
yeah.
Tenant. He's
in
star,
a bunch
too.
of stuff now.
He has
he is
4
in
children.
Ballers.
4 children.
He is in Ballers. Oh, 4
So
children.
But he and his Pauletta, his wife, he and she are like classically. She's a classic pianist.
Wow.
And she gave up a lot of her career to. I think they met in some sort of like movie of the week, and she was not only an actor but also this trained pianist, and she gave up her career to raise their children. Wow. And
Maybe that's why he's time for her. You know, some people are like, it's my time now.
oh, Pauletta, I think Pauletta's fine.
I think
Yeah.
she's fine. I do want to say
Pauletta's
something.
She's yelling at him.
Wakanda's your last movie. I got a piano to attend.
to attend to. I do want to say a really cool story about Denzel, and then I'll give you my favorite.
I have a better story.
Is
than
it
you.
Chadwick Boseman?
No.
Oh, Chadwick Boseman got up there and was like, I couldn't afford to go when he got his Oscar or some kind of SAG award, and was like, I couldn't afford to go to Oxford to study acting to start all of this. And the Boys and Girls Club paid for me to go. And I found out that it was Denzel Washington who made that check. And he said it in front of Denzel Washington in front of a big auditorium. So he goes, sir, you're the reason that I'm the Black Panther. And it was like such a beautiful
Oh my
thing to
gosh.
say. And Denzel was like, are you kidding me? I think it was like a Kennedy Center Awards or something.
Right.
But it blew him away because he didn't know that he had started the career of the Black
I
Panther.
can't believe he made a check.
Yeah.
He wrote a check. He didn't make the
Sam,
check.
you
me
said
if
you
you
had a
can.
story
That's a
that
beautiful
could
story.
one up Tori.
Hers is
We were
great.
just waiting for Tori to finish.
Mine's
so
going to
Sam could
sound
tell her
super
story.
selfish and narcissistic because I'm trying to find. Okay, so remember that restaurant?
It's a beautiful story.
Hometown?
No.
No, Jeff, don't bail her out. Don't say
There's
a
a
word.
really famous restaurant on PCH before you get into the Malibu area.
Moon Shadows?
No, before you get into the
Love
Malibu
Moon
area,
Shadows.
and it's tucked away, and it's an Italian restaurant.
Jeffries?
No, not Joffrey's.
Joffrey.
And
Oh,
it's
it's Joffrey's?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're Joff today.
It starts
Sorry,
with a
Black
O.
Tie Mike Tyson
I feel like-
fight.
I feel like you would know what the restaurant is called.
I think-
Starts with an O. It's tucked away on PCH in between Santa Monica and Malibu.
Oscars?
Can we?
That sounds
Oscar Steakhouse?
You're making
no,
that up.
no. It's
Can
like
you tell-
Ocean.
nope, not Ocean Prime.
Oh,
No, it's like a little.
Can you tell the story
teeny-
without knowing the
okay,
name?
so at the
I
time,
do love that whole area. Those are like special.
They're
little
amazing.
things.
So at the time, I was babysitting for Cynthia. You guys met her. She came on the show, and her and Denzel were like besties, and he would come over all the time in an older Mercedes, by the way.
Those
And
are the dope ones.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
know, but not vintage. I just remember being like, huh, like that's cool. He doesn't feel like he has to flex, and he would just come over.
That's also
and-
an insult when you say, "Oh, Jeff Shorter from Big Brother, you drive that? You don't have to flex." I appreciate that.
I get that every day.
That's my niece. That's my Prius. Continue. I'm so
and
sorry.
he was always very kind, and he
But
would
nobody
help.
recognized you in the story.
Everybody did.
He would help Christian, the kid I was babysitting for, do his like little projects
Pick
for
it
school.
up.
So he found out that my boyfriend at the time, Chris was his name. Bleh. He found out that me and bleh, it was our anniversary, and he's like, "I'm going to take care of y'all." So he called up said restaurant. Because he was like, "What are you guys going to do tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. You know, we're just probably going to."
Okay. All right. Okay. That's a good one.
So he said, "What are you going to do tonight?" And I'm like, "We don't know." And he was like, "Well, listen." And he talked to Cynthia. He's like, Let her off early. I'm going to hook this up." He called this restaurant that's impossible to get into. They treated us like gold. They didn't comp us, but they did give us some free dessert and wine, courtesy of Mr. Denzel Washington, This isn't cool.
You told it horribly.
I feel like my Chadwick Boseman story was.
First of all,
I'm sorry.
the story ended with them not getting comp. So really, it was about a restaurant being nice to them 25 years ago.
So
got it.
Denzel bought you cake?
No, we got a dessert and a bottle of
That
wine,
is-
and who knows, maybe that bottle of wine was really expensive.
Or maybe they cooked with it.
Anyways,
Or maybe they
okay.
were playing a gag
What a
on
nice
you.
guy.
No, he is
I
a
was
nice guy.
19 years
Wouldn't
old.
a nice guy comp your meal?
I was like 19 years old at UCLA.
That's very kind.
Broke as a joke and got to go to probably the fanciest restaurant I've ever been to.
So we know the waitress got stiffed.
Gosh.
Okay, I will just say I will end
Glad
this.
you guys are unimpressed by
did-
that story.
You just said you got dinner.
You set it up
that
like
you paid
so
for.
good. Like Malibu on the ocean, the stars were aligned.
Can you imagine 19
We got
year
free
old,
pie.
Can you imagine 19-year-old Jeff having one of your favorite celebrities set
Did you
up?
meet him?
All the time he was there.
So tell one of
Yes.
those
That's
stories.
cool.
I did. You tuned out, bro. I said he used to come in. He used to
But
help.
he wasn't there this night.
Yes, he was there that night.
Well, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did. You guys missed that part. I said he used to come in all the time and just chill with us, help Christian with his art projects and
that.
stuff.
She did say he
he
helped
would
Christian.
talk. He told me about because he knew
So
I was
he went to
studying
dinner with you?
acting. No, he didn't come to dinner with us. He would hang out at the house all the time.
That is cool.
He told me his acting stories that you can see this move in almost every movie because I wanted to be an actor at the time, and he said, make a stamp on each movie, have a scene that is yours.
Is that where you got the hip thrust from?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sam did a Valvoline commercial. And a neon top
It wasn't neon.
and some half-cut
Look at them
Daisy
girls with
Dukes.
Daisy Dukes on.
Yes.
She looked I made more money on that Valvoline infomercial than probably what I've made in a long time.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah,
of that.
infomercial money is
Them,
very
money.
them
jealous.
days are gone.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. You don't
Yeah.
have those days.
I will say.
Also, Denzel has a crooked finger that he hides.
Oh really?
So it's like this.
Oh, I could see
and he
that.
hides it a lot.
Oh really?
That looks like the white power symbol.
And I think it's his pinky.
Sam's like, a lot of money on that side.
What about this? What about this impression? That's my wife.
Nope.
Okay.
You bailed
My-
Sam out though.
Wait,
my
what-
favorite one is Philadelphia. No one said that one.
We did. We all
Yes.
said Philadelphia.
Okay, so I'm a little late on
Oh
that.
wait,
You know what-
wait, we have
Wait,
two
yeah,
more
yeah,
minutes.
go ahead, please.
go
Okay.
ahead.
So Sophie, I had such a beautiful experience with my daughter. I'm not
Was
one.
Denzel not there too?
I got free pie. That was so bad.
So I'm not one to MC. I'm just not naturally like gifted that way like you and Tori are. So when Denver Fashion Week was like, hey, do you want to MC with your daughter? Because it's a kid and teen fashion show, and the PR lady, I guess, is very familiar with Sophie from DBL. She's a big fan of DBL.
That's so cool.
And she said, I would love for you and Sophie to MC it. So I was like, ooh, I got to talk to Sophie. I don't know if Sophie's going to want to do that. So I told Sophie, do you want to MC? She said, what does that mean? I said, you go up and you pretty much are going to host this fashion show with Mom, and you're going to have a microphone. There's going to be a ton of people, and a lot of people are going to be looking at you. And she was so excited not to MC, but to meet fashion designers. Because right now she wants to
Wow.
be a fashion designer. But she killed it with her MC. She memorized her little line. She had her paper up there and was reading her parts. She projected. She had fun, but then she wanted to get backstage and meet those fashion designers.
Really?
And for me to be on stage with her was probably like the best moment of my career thus
That's
far.
really
That's
cool.
It was amazing.
That's really
Like to
beautiful.
hold her hand and be on stage and be like, hi, I'm Sam Shocker. And then she knew, because she knew when her line was, and I'm Sophie Byron. I want to be a fashion designer, and I'm 7.
Oh
like
my
she was so
God.
cute, and I'm just super proud of her, and we'll show pictures.
She's never veered from wanting to be a fashion designer, right? Like she's always been
She's
into
always
fashion.
wanted to be, artistic.
Always.
Yeah. And so, and I have some of her designs from when she was 3 that are incredible from Wiki Sticks. Remember Wiki Sticks at restaurants?
Oh yeah, I was
She,
wondering
like,
what was
made-
that?
What is it?
They're like really cool, like waxy.
Oh, you could bend them and stuff,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
And I remember Mark and I sitting at really quickly Cherry Creek Grill and just looking at her, and then all of a sudden she had 3 of her little tiny figurines in the most amazing outfits with like trains and like a little like rose decal that I was like, what? And we saved them. She wants to play with those all the time, and I'm like, no, those are saved. So it was amazing. Even if she changes her mind a million times, that's fine. But it was a good experience, I think, for both of us.
I hope
So
you took a second and took that moment.
I
in.
took the whole night.
That's beautiful.
And I went to bed that night being like, thank you for that. So
And then you called Denzel Washington and
And
said,
he
"Thank
didn't
you for not
answer.
paying for it again."
how dare you? It was such a generous gesture of his to do that for me. And I'll never forget it.
Why
So
didn't he comp the meal?
Shout out to Denzel for
Shout out to
hooking that
Denzel.
up.
Thanks for the pie.
Yeah.
My wife.
Sam, do you want to throw up one more symbol
It was
before we
his
get out of here?
pinky. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Wrap it up.
Guys, we appreciate you dealing with our Friday
Feeling all right.
goofiness.
Remember from Flight?
Yeah, we'll start the ending over. Guys, thank you for joining us here on Daytime After Dark. I'm Al Jackson, Sam Shocker, Tori Showman, my man Jeff Schroeder. We'll see y'all next week.
Joff Schroeder.
Like, comment,
Joffreys.
subscribe.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.